Hey you, and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben, and this is my review for You Season 4, Part 1. It's the first 5 episodes. The last time we saw Joe, he killed off his wife and dumped his baby at another family, and that's how we left him. But then before Season 3 even dropped, they announced Season 4 was greenlit, which kind of took out all the tenseness of will Joe survive, because we knew he would, because he'd be back in Season 4. Thankfully, they haven't greenlit Season 5 yet, so we don't know what's going to happen to Joe. But is this as good as the previous season? Because a lot of people have been talking about whether this is too long in the tooth. Let's talk about it. Joe is now called Jonathan Moore, is living in London and teaching literature as a college professor. He's got a new circle of acquaintances to possibly terrorize and kill. So we have the first 5 episodes, and we see Joe kind of reeling from the events, trying to fix what has gone wrong with his previous relationships. He doesn't want to be that person anymore. And I was the first person to kind of put up my hand and say, how long are you going to push this series? How long do we need this series to go? If you're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again, then what's the point of it? There's nothing fresh. You're not doing anything new. It's just rehashing the same thing. And I've seen a lot of critic reviews already disliking this season, the first 5, because it's different, and that's what I liked about it. So I'm probably going to go counter to what those critics are saying and saying I really like what they did with these first 5 episodes, because Joe is found himself in a group of people that are the top 1%, or the sons and daughters of, so kings and queens and princes and princesses, those kind of people who he really doesn't know how to mix with or speak to, and somehow he finds himself in that group, not wanting to be a part of it, and also trying to keep himself clean and away from his previous life. Starting a new chapter in his book, he doesn't want to be a part of that world anymore. He's gonna be better, and we hear this through his inner monologue the whole time, which continues the thematic theme that we've had from the previous seasons. He's still suave, or he's still that same character. I don't know if suave's the right word. A bumbling serial killer, not quite up to Dexter's expertise, but getting there. Well, at least he was. But in this season, he's like, I'm not that person anymore. I don't need to be. The thing is, there's a who's done it in this series, in the, I think, episode 3, 4, and 5, that really lends itself to some fun and some differences. I liked where this series went with that. And the characters that you get to meet within, from Kate to the other rich, are characters that you tend to love to hate. They are the type of people that when you hear them speak, you just cringe, because you can't believe the words that are coming out their mouth, the things that are saying about people, because they class everybody as lower than them, because they are the rich and they are better than everyone. And so you immediately are kind of on Joe's side, which is a weird feeling to have, because Joe's kind of the bad guy, right? It's like watching Dexter and rooting for Dexter. And I think the pacing is good, apart from the first episode, which kind of is wrapping up a previous story and kind of delves nicely into this arc. And then quickly and surely it kind of unfolds the characters. We don't get much story individually of those characters. We always are following Joe's inner monologue, and that continues to be the driving force. The disparity between him trying to be the good guy and also finding himself doing horrible things once again, but not really on his terms this time. Not that it's always been on his terms, but this time it really feels like he didn't have a choice in finding the situation he's in. Normally we would know who's done it, because it's always Joe and how it got there, because the show shows us. This time around, there's a nice mystery to it, which I think helps with the pacing. You keep wanting to watch that next episode to find out who's pulling Joe's strings, who's pulling everybody's strings, who is the puppeteer and the master behind it all. I liked it. It reminded me a little bit of the Trinity Killer sort of storyline, but not quite. It just a few inklings in Dexter. It's a reference that I keep going back to, the Dexter serial killer, the serial killer killing serial killers. Joe is not quite up to that, but I love the inner monologue. You kind of agree with a lot of what he's saying about the people that he finds himself around in, and I think that comes down to great delivery dialogue, great acting, great atmosphere. The characters that are bad, you love to hate, are delivering their lines well. The costumes, designs, the set pieces, the score, all again I think is as good as it has ever been. So I know there's going to be different opinions, and you can't really judge the whole thing as of yet because it's just the first 5, but so far I'm really intrigued to see what they're going to do with the second half. I really hope it's going to stick its landing with the mystery. I don't know if the mystery is going to continue, but I'm sure that the second half is going to be good, because that is the formula really of You. Starts out slow and then the second half kind of goes crazy. I've loved the first half of season 4, so fingers crossed. Let me know your feelings and thoughts down below. What did you think of season 4 so far? Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.